Before a house or a structure can go up, you need to know the legal boundaries that define that property. It's the job of the land surveyor to measure all of that and much more. Let's learn more about what a land surveyor really does. Brian.
Brian, nice to meet you.
Always nice to meet another Brian.
It is. Welcome to Can-Am Geomatics. Let me show you around.
Please, yeah.
I'm Brian Bates, and I work as a professional land surveyor in Fort St. John, BC. A land surveyor is a caretaker of boundaries within the province of British Columbia. Professional land surveyors assess the records and evidence and make measurements out in the field to figure out exactly where those boundaries are, so that when we give them to the client or register them in the land titles office, that they're as close to perfect as they can be.
All right, Brian, so where are we off to now?
Well, we're about an hour north of Fort St. John, going up to a construction site where they need some extra staking done.
And this would be a typical job that a land surveyor would do?
Oh, definitely. You get to see all sorts of places in British Columbia, whether it's kind of, an urban environment or way out in the wilderness where nobody else goes to most of the time. A typical day in the field in a really remote location might involve an hour or more driving to get close to the site. After that, we might use an ATV or a snowmobile or even a helicopter to get all the way close to a site. After that, we'll get on site, figure out exactly where we are and what we can measure from to set up the survey that we're going to do that day. Okay, let's grab our stuff.
Yeah.
Brian, can you grab the shovel and the yellow case? The balance of the day might involve taking additional measurements to locate topographic features, or maybe marking it up with flagging and lath so that machinery coming behind knows where to clear trees or move dirt. And basically making sure that by the time we leave the field at the end of the day, we've gathered every bit of information we're going to need to prepare a whole series of maps and plans and other digital deliverables for our clients. It's probably not a typical 9-to-5 job for most people, especially working out in the field, staying a couple hours late to make sure that the survey that they need to have done gets done is pretty important. So pound in a steak right there.
Right where he's got it there?
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, typically I like my steaks medium rare, but I'll take that.
It looks well done.
Thank you.
To be a really good land surveyor, attention to detail is very important. You're dealing with people's property and boundaries of land, so everything you do has to be done very precisely.
So this stake on its own doesn't mean much, but when they're in a row, and that's when you can actually see the boundary line, right?
Exactly. What we're doing is just making the boundary line visible for our client and anybody else that needs to see where it is, so we mark it up plain as day. Land surveyors leave a lot of survey monuments in the ground that are marked with a special survey number on them that's unique to each land surveyor. So in a way, we get to leave our mark out there, which is kind of rewarding. That's something that's going to remain there in the ground maybe for hundreds of years to come. I bumped into the geomatics industry and discovered that it was something where I could balance being able to be in the field and to be able to be in the office. That sort of variety really appealed to me. There's quite a bit of training that goes into it. A person needs to start out with a university level education in geomatics. Afterwards, they need to register with the Association of British Columbia Land Surveyors and begin a process called articling, which is an on-the-job experience program of at least 2 years underneath another professional land surveyor. When they pass all of that, then they're eligible to become registered as a professional land surveyor. As you're able to progress more into project management and supervising the surveys, you can definitely get a good work-life balance. It can fit a lifestyle. Go and talk to a local land surveyor. You can find them all over BC, and sit down and ask them, what they do in their day-to-day job, what sort of qualifications they think a person needs to have.
Well, thank you very much for showing me around, Jesse. No problem, Brian. Take care. Brian, it was a pleasure.
It was. Thank you, Brian. Have a good day.
You too. Once again, I'm Brian for Career Track, reminding you that this career could be yours. See you next time.